And I would like to go ahead and introduce Ronnie May, who is our first presenter today for Session 7, Conservation Client Gateway Integration.
Thank you very much, Kara. My name again is Ronnie May, and I'll be presenting the CCG things today. So our first lesson plan, I believe, is lesson plan 6. It should be Conservation Client Gateway Reports. And the requirements for this basically is that the user is logged into Conservation Client Gateway and they have set their preferences. The rationale, planners may want to view reports of Conservation Client Gateway clients. Reports are available to view on all registered CCG clients by state and county, and also view a list of individual clients for the user's state and county jurisdiction, or view a list of business clients for the user's state and county jurisdictions. The objectives for this lesson plan are you will be able to view Client Conservation Gateway client accounts, or count by state and county, and also you'll be able to view the Client Conservation Gateway reports individual clients by state and county, and then also your Client Conservation Gateway reports of your business clients by state and county. So Teresa's already logged in and got her preferences set. So now we're going to view the report of the Client Conservation Gateway count by state and county. So she'll go up to the main toolbar, and there next to the Client Conservation Gateway icon, there's a Reports tab, and she'll click on that Reports tab. Once she does that, the reports dialog will come into screen or into view, and you'll be able, the first thing we want to do is to view the Client Conservation client count by state and county. And so you can do this by clicking on the hyperlink icon or going over to the Actions buttons and click Run Report. As she does that, you'll see that the count comes into your screen on a separate window. We can also filter these individuals by state or region or county. What we're going to do here is we're going to do a filter by your state. So you would type in your state there, and you click Apply Filters, and you can see that it brings up just the Client Conservation Gateway counts in the state. So we can also, at the very top right, there's an Actions icon. You can click on the Actions icon and click Export to Excel, and it will export that report to an Excel file. We'll be able to view that. You can save it or print it, and that can be used as for different things. Once you've done that, you can view it. Like I said there, you can manipulate it in ways that may be beneficial to you, or you can just save it or print it for future use. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. And then we can go back here and we can click Reset Filters, and it will erase us putting the filter there in the state, take us back to the main screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out of that window, and we'll go down here to the next report. And this will be viewing the Client Conservation individual clients by state and county. So again, we can click on that, or we can use the action icon and Run Report. And then in an extra window that will pop up for us, and we can view that. Again, if we needed to filter this by state, county, or maybe a client's last name, we could do that. And then also we could go up to the Actions icon and export that into an Excel file and use that for things that we might need in our office. So, but we'll go ahead and close out of this window and go back to the main screen. And again, here we can go to the third reports icon, which is viewing Client Conservation business clients by state and county. And this one actually will use your zeros to filter the report that we see. So you'll just see ones that are in your jurisdictions and zeros that you can see. Again, you can filter this if you need to by business name, member last name, and also do an Excel report on that if you need to. So as you can see, we can get those reports from within CD to view our Client Conservation Gateway clients. So that is helpful in many ways. So at this point, we'll close out of this report. And we'll close out of the reports page. And that brings us back to the main CD screen. So we're going to skip down now and go to the next lesson plan that I want to present, and that will be lesson plan 9. And this is where you can open a case file and view the client's record in Conservation Client Gateway from within CD. So the requirements for this is that the user is logged into Conservation Desktop and the preferences are set. The rationale: while using Conservation Desktop, the user may need to search and view individual and business entity client records and requests in Conservation Client Gateway, or view a selected client's associated records and requests without leaving their CD work session. The previous version of Conservation Gateway and CD allowed users to view clients' records only if they were CCG registered users or had logged into CCG as a business entity member. The new release allows users to view the contents of an individual client's record in CCG from CD for any SCIMS client. So that means whether they're a user or not a user. So the objective for this lesson is you will be able to view Client Conservation Gateway records when the client context is established in the table of contents. So what we want to do first is we're back here at the main screen. We want to do a client search, which is the magnifying glass icon at the very top. So we'll have Teresa click on that. When she does that, it brings us up to the case search field, and we can type in a business name or a client name so that we want to use. So we make sure our service centers and everything are set. You click search. That pulls up a list of our clients. So in the client conservation column indicates if the client is a CCG client or not. So you can see there that both of these users are no for CCG client. So select one of the hyperlinks, which will select the Brown or Gary Brown hyperlink for the case name, and that will put it into our table of contents. You can see it's done that over on the left. So now we'll go up to the client conservation icon in the upper right. And this will give us the context of the Client Conservation Gateway for this particular user. Okay, here it comes. And then what you're looking for, you can see up here in the gray bar where it says Client, got Quitting Business Distributors, and it states that they are a non-CCG user. So if they were a CCG user, that particular wording would be gone. It would just be blank. So, but this tells us that they are not a CCG user. So we've done a case search through CD with a individual, or this particular one is a business in the table of contents. So we'll go ahead and close out of this. So Teresa can log off of CCG here. It'll take us back to our CD screen. We'll go ahead and stay there for our next lesson plan. Lesson plan 10 is the one that we'll go to next, and we'll basically do the same search, except we're going to do it now for a client record. And the client record is the icon at the very top that has the dual person side by side. Alrighty. The requirements for this one is basically that you're logged into CD and preferences are set, which we've already done that. The rationale with this one is very similar to the previous one, except this time we're wanting to view a client record in CCG as a business entity or an individual. Basically, this is also part of the new release where we can view any SCIMS client. So that means whether they are or are not a CCG user, we'll be able to do that. So the objective for this lesson plan is at the end of this, we'll be able to view a client's record in Client Conservation Gateway from the client search dialog. So Teresa's already clicked on the client search, and now you can tell that she's got the correct service center and state put in. And so we'll go down here to the common or business name and type in a name there to do the search. Then we'll click search. As we do that, you can tell at the very bottom there, it pulled up the search results. On this particular one, you can tell that we have the same business entity. You can see over in the client conservation icon that there's a no. So that means that this client is not a CCG user. So we'll go over here to the actions icon, which is the three dots, and click on that, and then we'll be able to scroll down to where it says view client record in CCG. And this is just another method of being able to view it if they're not in the table of contents. And we can tell it pulls up the same screen. You have the same gray bar at the top where it shows that this particular user is a non-CCG user. So this is just a way to be able to tell while you're in CD if this person is a user of CCG. So we will close out of the CCG. All right, I'm going to close out of this screen also, or close out of Conservation Desktop, or you can leave it open if you need it for the next lesson plan, Teresa. But that concludes the lesson plans for CCG. So I'll turn it back over to Kara, and she'll tell us what to do with the next one.
Thank you, Ronnie.